NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight.
Ed, always a pleasure to be in the booth with you. It reminds me a lot of my back. Court teammates. Actually, they were faster, could jump higher, and could shoot better. But anyway, we got a big-time matchup tonight.
You know, Jay, if you take a couple of letters and vowels away, you can go from Cohen to Duhan, just like that. And the rebound comes down to the Clippers. Jay, upon scanning this Clippers roster, there are a lot of guards for Doc Rivers to work with.
Yeah, they have a plethora of guards, and if I'm this team and if I'm Doc Rivers, I'm thinking about how do I throw as many guards at you as possible, because Doc wants to get another guard in there to apply the same pressure. They should be the new modern-day Detroit Pistons with the style they play defensively.
Big stuff and a lot of traffic on the way to the rim. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Leonard buries it on the catch and shoot.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Oh, whistle.
Timing was just a tad bit off.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
Fires the three. Well, their first three, and they're right back in it within a possession in this first quarter.
Well, I don't want to live in the past, but if you got a couple of those that dropped earlier, you could have had a nice lead. Now, we got a dogfight.
Oh, big finish at the rim.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Trailblazers with the basketball. Lillard can't connect. It's no good. To George. Knocked loose. Blazers have it. Lillard. Yes. Give the advantage to the shooter.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
Hassan Whiteside sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Beverly. Patrick Beverly is going to get 3 shots here. For his career, 76% from the line. Knocks down the first. Second to 3. Got it. Hits all 3 free throws. Lillard, tough matchup against George. He's looking for that touch.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Here comes the screen. Leonard. Fires the 3. Not that time. Lillard. And that'll be out of bounds. Last. Touched by a Blazer. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor.
Number 3, C.J. McCollum. Into the game, number 20.
George against the Lehigh product. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Hood. The pass taken away by the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, defended by Lillard. Kawhi Leonard, 3 for 3. That's a perfect start.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
Lillard matched up with Paul George. From long range, no good. That's great defense.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Lets it fly from long range. Great defense, forcing the miss.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
And count the basket.
I'm telling you right now, with moves like that, scoring is not going to be an issue tonight.
Trailblazers take over. Lillard, he engulfed him that time.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
George buries the three.
This is a game of ways. As a defense, you have to recognize that they come and they go. That will not be the case all the time moving forward.
Terry Stotts will go ahead and use the timeout. His guys find themselves down double digits already in this first quarter. Lillard against George. Here's a chance from long range. Not that time. He missed it. To Paul George. Good look that time, but off the mark.
Ed, the game is so different. In today's NBA, defenders are longer, quicker, and more athletic than we've ever seen before. So offensively, as a shooter, you either have to be able to create more space off the dribble for your shot or have a much faster release. Ideally, you have both in your arsenal.
Screen.
Lillard, they'll take it from downtown. Let's see, Jay, if that wakes them up.
Yeah, that was a big-time three, but the most important possession is now, the one you're currently in. Don't focus on the next play, but focus on the present.
And count the basket inside. That ends the first quarter. The Clippers have the lead. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Clippers have the basketball. Paul George to Beverly. George couldn't keep it in. Out off Paul George.
Come on, it's important.
McCollum with the basketball. They find themselves down 10. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for three.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
McCollum into the front court. 9-point margin. Beyond the arc for three. Oh, he hits the three.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
LA Clippers with the basketball to Beverly.
Yep, right there, yep.
George, guarded by McCollum. Paul George, 3 for 6 now.
Bread and butter. And there are a few that can do it better off the screen.
McCollum with the basketball. Down 8. 4-3. A tough make there for C.J. McCollum. Can't fault the defender on that one.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing, man.
Not that time. Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Goes to the left side. Kawhi Leonard in a matchup with Collins. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Lillard. He's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
George to the basket, but it won't go.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Lillard, and the rebound taken in by Beverly. Paul George to Williams. The shot, almost. Lillard, textbook defense. Bazemore matched up with Paul George. To Beverly. Kawhi Leonard. Can't ask for much more. He's perfect. 5 for 5 from the field.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Lillard. And it's Leonard there to clear the rebound. To Williams. Three-second count. Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Portland's got it. Going to launch beyond the arc. Message received. Well defended. Probing the defense. Leonard. Here comes the screen. For 3, Kawhi Leonard in his own world. Nobody near him. He sinks it for 3.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now.
Substitutions.
McCollum into the front court. 14-point deficit. Here comes the screen. McCollum to Rodney Hood.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
Fires the 3. Not that time. He misses. It's good. That's the guy you want to leave open.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Lillard against George. Fires the three. Off the iron. No good.
And there's always so much talk about defense. How about offensively? If you continue to attack that shooter, now you're making him work on the defensive end. That makes him take his legs away on the offensive end.
We come to you live on EA Sports, and it's a Windy City special in the booth. I'm Ed Cohen with the former Chicago Bull. It's Jay Williams.
And Ed, both squads are getting up last-minute shots. As a player, you never leave the court on a missed shot. A make shot always sets the right tone before the game.
All the work that's gone into this game about to be on full display here tonight. It's Westbrook. Wide open look, won't go.
It didn't hurt him this time, but defensively, you got to prevent him from even catching the ball to begin with.
Strong finish for Paul George.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Here comes the screen. Tucker to Harden. Kawhi Leonard with a piece. That's off of Leonard, out of bounds. 24-second violation. It's NBA action on EA Sports. Alongside the former Chicago Bulls guard, Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. Jay, these guys are ready to go.
And people at home can't see me right now, but I'm stretching my arms. I'm stretching my legs. This is going to be one fast-paced game. Let's get to it.
This booth is all stretched out. The players gearing up. Let's get ready for the opening tip. Boogie abusing the rim. Big finish.
Oh, that's a great way to make an opening statement. It's about the team that's able to punch the other team in the mouth first. That's exactly what you want to do if you're the road team.
Okay, reset.
George, defended by Cousins. To Leonard. Rebound Cousins. To Davis. Now a drive, but the shot won't fall. From long range, buries it on the catch and shoot.
That shot was nice, but that pass, that was the real highlight. Good teams always find a way to get the best shot available.
Kawhi Leonard in a matchup with Boogie. LeBron James sends it away.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
To Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, strong finish. Feed the big fella. Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Here comes the screen. From the painted area, won't go down. And he's fouled. Davis going to the line for two.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
Anthony Davis has got 2 shots coming. For his career, 79% at the line. And he connects on the first free throw.
Get it, shoot it again.
Able to convert on both free throws. Now Doc wants a timeout. His guys have come out flat. Slow start in this first quarter. No, great defense there, forcing the pickup. Gets it in the right corner to Leonard. Scores from the post.
Another possession they were forced to take a tough shot. This time they got to go, but they need to do something different to start creating more open look opportunities.
He was all over him.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Jay, Magic and Kobe each won 5 titles. How are you going to judge LeBron James' legacy in L.A.?
LeBron James wins 1 championship in L.A. That means he will set himself apart. He will have won 4 championships in 3 different cities. Now, that is polarizing for some fans. That still does not take away from the overall greatness and the legacy of LeBron James.
Paul George! Huge block! Couldn't keep it in. Out off Paul George. Doc Rivers will play the matchup. He wants some new guys on the floor. And they call it.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Kawhi Leonard, that's his first personal foul. Team foul number 2.
And the reward, he's going to the line.
Hey, look, sometimes you need to feel out your opponent. Let them know you're there. I'm okay with that early foul.
LeBron James at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 73%. Can't connect on the first free throw. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Kawhi Leonard against Cousins. To George. Anthony Davis rejects it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
Oh, he had it. Leonard to Paul George. Paul George missed his first. That one goes. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed. And that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively. And that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
Man, he's got the defender out there tap dancing like that on national TV. That's not a good sign.
And a nice finish at the rim.
I love when I see smaller players finish in the paint amongst the trees. But if you're a big on the other side, you can't let that happen so easy.
The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. And a putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Leonard, deep left corner, 4-3, no good. Slams it home on the putback.
Ooh, establishing the glass early, but the defense has to be better at boxing out.
James to Cousins. Slams it down. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
And Kawhi Leonard, good on the quick release there.
It's all about creating space with the dribble. Once you have that gap, you can beat somebody in a variety of ways. He chose the dagger with the three.
LeBron James, defended by Harkless. Kuzma. To Davis. Shot from the lane won't go. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go down.
Oh, yeah. We in here.
Late heave to beat the buzzer. The quarter comes to an end. The Lakers have the lead. On to the second quarter. Neither team sees control in the first. Some interesting things, though, certainly on display.
Both teams are trying to feel each other out, but I like the aggression that both teams established in the first quarter. This is the first quarter league. The way you play in the opening minutes really sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Now the Lakers going to use a timeout. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game.
Listen up, fans. Tickets for the next home game are still available at the box office. Buy one or more tickets before the end of today's game, and you'll receive an exclusive discount.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Anthony Davis. Subbing in.
JaMychal Green pins it. That's off of Leonard, out of bounds. James to Danny Green. And the rebound comes down to the Clippers.
I got ball.
Won't go.
And you hate to say this, but this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes it takes guys a little while to warm up into the game. Seems like they finally found their rhythm in the second quarter.
Clippers have the basketball. DeMarcus Cousins tips it. And that's going to get out of bounds off a Laker. Leonard. The pass set it all up.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
That was such a great job by the offensive player. Knowing that you're probably going to take some lumps here and there, but still remaining aggressive throughout the shot and getting a crack at the extra point.
One free throw, count it. It's a 3-point play, and the lead up to 8. Kawhi Leonard, defended by Cousins. A drive baseline, but the shot won't go. To Danny Green. To James. Clippers have got it. To Leonard. Slams it down.
And cutting hard in transition is one of the most underrated things about this game. The harder you can cut is the more it opens up the floor to make plays just like that.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
The free throw good as he completes the 3-point play, and the lead is up to 9. Paul George. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
How about right after the dunk, he looks right over towards the bench, gets a call from the coach about what defense they're in, and then gets his team set. Those are people that are able to lead men.
LeBron, tough matchup against George. And the rebound taken by the Clippers. To George. Beverly, over to the right side. Leonard. No good. That's great defense. Danny Green to Davis. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Beverly to Paul George. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
And as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. James against Paul George. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bid, and that's the game.
Got it.
To the line, shooting 1.
It's LA Clippers ball. Leonard to George.
2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Down the lane, but the shot won't fall. To Paul George. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
I can see the beads of sweat forming when he had to put the ball on the ground there. You still got it, though.
And scores, plus the foul. Patented move for Anthony Davis. And a chance at 3.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Anthony Davis swats it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
To Leonard. Can't connect from inside. Strong finish that time for Danny Green. That has to feel deflating for the other side.
They've really came out and made a statement so far in this first half. Another powerful dunk, but another easy dunk. When are we going to see some defense?
Paul George, 2 of 4 now.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
And they called the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
First one, count it. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair.
Coming right back to you.
George to Harkless. He gets it.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle. The maturity of one of the game's greatest on full display.
Yeah, LeBron James still proving that he can get up there with the highest of the high. But still, I love the fact that he recognizes less is more now. LeBron James 2007, every play is a dunk. Now it just happens once in a while. Enjoy the greatness.
LeBron against George. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
The free throw is good. Finishing off the three-point play. The lead grows to 12.
I got him.
George hits the three-pointer.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
I got your help here.
Deep three at the buzzer. That'll do it for the first half. The Lakers have the lead. Tight game through the first 2 quarters as we resume play here in the third. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Leonard goes to the right side to George. Stuffs it down with authority.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him.
Oh, that's out.
Out of here. It always looks cool, but guess what? You're still on D.
James matched up with Paul George. Here's a chance from long range. You give him that much time, he's going to make you pay. LeBron James with the three.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
Kawhi Leonard sizing up Cousins to Beverly. Fires the three. Never dare Patrick Beverly. Hits a wide-open three.
But it was how he created the shot. As a defender, there's a tendency to stand up when you stare at the ball. Offensive player recognized that, continuously moved without the ball. Bang, that's how he set it up.
Beverly into the front court. The deficit is 6. Here comes the screen. JaMychal Green, defended by Cousins. Whoa! What a finish!
An easy 2. Get back on defense.
James goes to the left side. To James. to Danny Green. Count the basket inside.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Leonard. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Not that time. To Cousins. There's the toss. LA Clippers with the basketball. Tosses. Throws it down off the alley-oop pass.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game, and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
The crossover gets inside and the slam dunk.
It can only be one of two things here. One, the defender ran out of gas, or two, this dude is just unstoppable.
Strong finish for Paul George.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
I remember my high school coach said one man can't beat five. Well, I'm telling you right now, he lied. I'm watching it happen in person.
Kyle Kuzma with a piece.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Flushes down the slam.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Shifting gears. Here come some substitutions. To Beverly. Leonard. Here comes the screen. Curling inside. Slams it down. And there was no stopping him that time. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
Deep right corner. Beyond the arc for three. That's off the side of the rim. No good. To Cousins. Pass to the rim. Danny Green to James. Danny Green to James.
Watch that cutter.
Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
Kawhi Leonard, defended by Cousins. LeBron with it up top. His team on top by 8. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2 at the line.
I like that.
Clippers have the basketball. Leonard knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
And they call it.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
LeBron James, a couple of free throws on the way. At the line, he's shooting 87%. Knocks down the first. And gets both to drop at the line.
Shot, baby.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
This is basketball one-on-one. Play inside out. Give the big man the ball, and the rest of the court will open up. That was an easy lay.
Kuzma. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
LeBron James at the line for a chance at a three-point play. He's been steady, 90% at the line. Quarter three at the buzzer. That ends the third quarter. The Lakers have the lead. It's Lakers ball as we start the fourth quarter. They had the lead coming out of halftime. They were able to extend that lead in the third quarter.
A lot of fans and players get consumed with the big plays, but the coaches love seeing their teams continuing to do the little things. That's how you increase the lead.
It'll be Lakers ball as we begin the fourth quarter. They had the lead coming out of halftime. They were able to extend that lead in the third quarter.
A lot of fans and players get consumed with the big plays, but the coaches love seeing their teams continuing to do the little things. That's how you increase the lead.
To Leonard. And the basket good at the rim.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
LeBron here against Harkless. To Danny Green. And finishes strong.
It's not every day that you see a 6'9", 265-pound freight train coming down the lane. You probably want to step out of the way.
And counted at the rim.
You used to hear all these coaches talk about, we need players to run the floor. No, I don't need you to run the floor. I need you to run the floor with purpose. Those are two different things. When you run the floor in attack mode, that's when plays like this occur.
I got ball.
To Leonard. Cashes in for two.
The assist from number 0.
James to Davis. Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
Anthony Davis. He's got two shots coming. Hasn't missed yet. First one goes down. 2 for 2 on that trip.
Oh, good shot, boy.
Entering the game for LA, number 7, JaVale McGee.
For 3, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes.
Stepping in for the Los Angeles Clippers, number 13,
Beverly. JaVale McGee snatching it out of the air.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Leonard to Paul George. Shot from the lane won't go. Now the Lakers are going to call a timeout. That's their first. Leaves them with one remaining the rest of the way.
And I've been seeing a lot of barking back and forth between the players and the fans. I actually like that. I think that gets the players more engaged in the game, in particular sometimes when the game seems like it's dead air.
James, whistle sounds. We have a tie-up. Jump ball. After the tie-up, they're in position for the jump ball. Kuzma. To Davis. Kuzma. To Davis.
Watch that cutter.
Anthony Davis. He struggled just a little bit. 2 for 5.
If you're coaching against this player, you have to throw some fake traps.
Some flushes down the slam.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
And count the basket.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Jermichael Green with the block.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
And he's fouled. A couple of free throws coming up, Jay.
No. I'll tell you. The team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reach-in fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
And he connects on the first free throw. And he makes them both. It's LA Clippers ball. Leonard. Oh, good defense by the Lakers. They come away with the steal. Backcourt. Inside the paint on that one.
This offseason, I heard so many voices, even that of the great Shaquille O'Neal, talking about how LBJ needed to submit his own legacy. Well, for LeBron, it's not about chasing external accolades. It's about hunting your own legacy, and that's to be the greatest of all time.
Davis, that's off the side of the rim, short. To Leonard. To George. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
And when plays like that happen with multiple players touching the ball, the basketball gods will 100% reward you.
James to Danny Green. Lets it fly from long range. Yes. Or in the case of the defense, not good.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Clips able to recover. Lakers come up with it.
You better get back on D. This thing is not over.
It's a big finish.
And if you're on defense on that last possession, no need to look over to the coach's bench, hold up your arms, wonder what did you do. Everybody got back, everybody communicated, everybody pointed. It was just better offense than there was defense.
Time for some new personnel into the game. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw is good to finish off the three-point play. That slices the lead down to 4.
Defense. Defense.
James. Down to Green. And the finish at the rim.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. James sends it away.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
The Lakers get the victory as they get a good win on the road. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. We come to you live on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. And Jay, these guys are ready to battle.
And when you look down on the court, you see their eyes, that burning passion to play this game. Intensity is going to be off the charts. This is why you play the game. Let's go check it out.
There's nothing like the pressure, the tension, the feeling before the tip. Count the bucket for two.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
To George. Here's a chance from long range, and Paul George good on the quick release there. Jay, when you break down Paul George, where is he at his best?
He needs to be engaged. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He needs to be needed, and that's the biggest thing for Paul George. When he's the guy offensively and he makes those clutch shots, it re-engages him defensively, and that drives him to be the best version of Paul George there is.
To Leonard. Brooklyn secures the rebound. Jordan to Dinwiddie. Oh, he had him there for a second. Durant. Oh, good offense, beating good defense.
You can forget about it when he uses that 7'5" wingspan to attack the bucket.
Kevin Durant pins it.
Oh, he blocked that with authority.
And a nice finish at the rim. Jay, you've known Kyrie Irving since he was a young man growing up in New Jersey. He's overcome a lot of obstacles, chief among them staying healthy and on the floor.
Yeah, Ed, he's been battling injuries since his freshman year of college, but the beautiful thing about Kyrie Irving is that he always loves the big stage. Making the game-winning shot in Game 7, he will continue to do so when he surrounds himself with great, inspiring leaders with the likes of such Kobe Bryant.
To Dinwiddie. Irving fires the three, his first effort, off the mark.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball, let him prove that it wasn't the D, it was more in his own head.
To Durant. Kevin Durant, 2 for 2. That's what you want.
He's a modern-day big that plays like a 6'2" guard. Scary.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Paul George to Leonard. Jay Williams, kid from Jersey, rooted for the Nets growing up. And where do you live now? Brooklyn.
Of course, I'm following my favorite team, and these comments are probably going to sound biased because they are. But Brooklyn is a completely different place. Only 5 minutes outside Manhattan. It almost feels like a suburb of the city. And the fact that it's culturally relevant, it just feels like Brooklyn is the new place to be.
And the finish off the nice step through.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Here's Irving into the front court. Leads 5. Jordan to Irving. And George able to gobble up the rebound. And a whistle.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Williams across the timeline. Down 5. And that's going to be out of bounds off of George. Play is stopped. Timeout for Brooklyn. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Here comes some changes. Kenny Atkinson turning to his reserves. Now the Nets going to take a timeout as they'll go over some tactics now in this first quarter of play. Time for the bench to step up. Kenny Atkinson knows it, making some moves.
Pick up, pick up, pick up.
Irving. Made his first effort, but not that time. It's LA Clippers ball.
I got ball. Watch cutter.
Leonard.
Oh! And he can't keep it in off the block.
Man, that was impressive. Paul George looking good. 4 for 5.
Old school equals high percentage.
Into the front court, it's Irving. Leads 3. He was all over him. Missed the shot. No free throws. Kawhi Leonard. Add 2 points to the board.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
It's a big finish.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Kyrie with the rock. To Durant. Lets it fly from long range. That's a dangerous spot. Kevin Durant wide open. He nails it.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to you or stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
To Irving. Kawhi Leonard sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Kevin Durant rejects it.
Let's shoot it.
Kyrie lets it go. KD follows up with the putback slam.
Woo, that's nasty right there.
Nothing going here on that drive. Kawhi Leonard. He's now 4 for 6. Deep three at the buzzer.
That's his first.
Kyrie Irving is going to get 3 shots here. A career 87% from the line. Nope. First one does not go. Knocks down the second free throw. First quarter's complete. The Nets have the lead. On to the second quarter. Jay, I don't know if we're going to see quite that level of offensive production that we saw to start this one.
If anything on this game, Ed, you have to expect the unexpected. When players have range that extend outside the gymnasium, oh, we're going to get a chance to watch something special.
Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Clippers have it. A shot no good there by Thornwell. Runner here won't go.
You see, Ed, this is where coaches get fired. It's great to have good offensive sets, but if you can't execute, then the play was a failure.
Williams. From long range, great defense, forcing the miss.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Play is stopped. Timeout for Brooklyn as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game.
Hey fans, have you seen the latest items in our silent auction? Have a look for yourself at the display behind section 121 and place your bid. Don't miss your chance at some excellent memorabilia.
Mixing things up. Hockey line substitutions. Both teams making changes. Fires the three. And the Clippers have the rebound. Paul George. He's now 5 for 6.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
To Beverly. Over to the right side.
Big kick right there.
It's PG for 2. The screen sets him up for 2.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next level elite PG. No doubt about it. This year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
And a chance coming up at the line.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
Knocks down the first. 2 for 2 on that trip. taken away by the Clippers.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
From the outside, no good. To Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, look out.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Deep two there, won't go. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Karis LeVert at the line for 2 shots. 71% for his career. First one, count it. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's the Clippers with the possession now. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
The jab step opens up space to knock down the jumper.
There you go. I like seeing scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Leonard. Flushes it home.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
The assist from number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
For 3, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a 3 is like shooting a layup.
Oh, yeah, me and you.
Paul George fires wide open. Too easy. You can't give him that look.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Going to launch beyond the arc, and he knocks it down.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Curling inside.
Oh! He just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Yeah, they're lucky they get the ball back. George. And Jordan able to secure the rebound. Beyond the arc for 3. That's good D. Shot no good.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
George, no good. That's great defense. Has a look. And he drains it.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive. But when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
And a bad pass as it's taken away by the Nets.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Leonard. Prince there for the rebound. Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Oh, pass stolen by the Nets. Just inside the arc. At the buzzer. Time expires to end the first half with the Nets in front. All set to go here in the second half. The third quarter is underway. Clippers have the basketball. From the painted area, won't go down. Durant with the basketball up top. His team up by 7. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
George won't go down. To Paul George. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
First free throw is good. Goes 2 for 2. Irving to Dinwiddie. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
You know, Ed, sometimes you're just more ready to play than your opponent. The intensity and the effort is off the charts.
Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots each and every one of them.
And hits the first free throw. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. Dinwiddie into the front court. His guys lead here early stages, third quarter. And he's fouled. A couple of free throws coming up, Jay.
I'm watching the coach's reaction right now, and I'll tell you, he's not going to be happy about that. The game comes down to the micro details. That wasn't a part of the plan right there.
And he connects on the first free throw. And gets both to drop at the line. And the finish at the rim.
For a smaller player, you have to be more creative with your imagination when you finish with those shots around the rim. For the audience, that may look difficult, but for the player himself, that's what they practice every single day.
Kevin Durant. The defense is really going to have to start paying attention. He's 5 for 5 for the field. George, tough matchup against Durant.
Ooh, shows like this separate the good players from the great ones. The good players, they have good first halves, and then they fade to black in the second. The great players, they just sustain that kind of dynamic energy throughout the entire ballgame.
Durant, almost, but no good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
He connects. Not the guy you think would beat you.
Everybody in the building, including myself, thought that pass was going somewhere else. Fool me once? Okay. But you're definitely not fooling me twice.
To the basket is Durant, but his shot stays out. Leonard. Smothering D.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
To George. Shot clock violation. Time for some new personnel into the game.
Los Angeles Clippers, number 21, Patrick Beverly.
Now the Nets going to take a timeout as their coach wants to get a word in with his guys here in this third quarter. Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes. Harris against George. A drive through the paint, but his shot misses. To Beverly. Here comes the screen. George calls out of bounds. Last touch by Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Fine to shoot. Gets a look. Can't hit.
I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
Oh, he was wide open. It's not going to be pretty when they watch the video. Someone's getting chewed out.
I hear so many players talk about, oh, my skill set is this or my skill set is that. How about your skill set is your effort on the defensive end? That's something we don't talk about as much as we need to.
And Paul George good on the quick release there.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Bad pass there. Clippers have it. Beverly. To Leonard. And he scores. They took a big step, but they'll count the bucket.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Prince matched up with Paul George. Knocked loose. Clippers have got it. Leonard. He drills the three.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Nice pass to get things going.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
LA Clippers with the basketball. And Jay, they call the foul.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Screen coming. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket. Neither side is giving up an inch.
I guarantee you tomorrow on Complex's social feed, that play will have millions of views. And I'm really looking forward to this fourth quarter because the first three have lived up to the billing.
Now a drive, but the shot won't fall.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
And that one out of bounds off the net. Monster stuff. Third quarter comes to an end. The Clippers have the lead. Brooklyn basketball here as we start the fourth quarter, and things went off the rails for them a bit in that third quarter as they watched their lead completely evaporate.
And then some. Now they find themselves behind.
We couldn't have done it without your support. If you would like to participate in an upcoming event, you can register at our team website for more details.
Brooklyn basketball here as we start the fourth quarter, and things went off the rails for them a bit in that third quarter as they watched their lead completely evaporate.
And then some. Now they find themselves behind.
It's LA Clippers ball. DeAndre Jordan able to recover with the block.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Leonard goes to the left side. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That's off the side of the rim, short. To Durant. And he throws it down. Power play by DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Shot from the lane won't go. To Jordan. You've got to get that one to go.
Seems like a lot of contact on that play. If I were that player, I would pull the ref over to the side, talk to him, express to him how much contact there was so he could look for that same foul call potentially the next time down the court.
Leonard to Paul George. Can't connect. The pass taken away by the Clippers.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in the playoff game, it will.
Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
KD with the rock. Nothing going here on that drive. Using the post to his advantage there and the finish at the rim.
And there's nothing more mentally intimidating for your opponent than when your own teammates are unselfish and make sure that you get the ball because they want you to drop 70 on them, maybe like Devin Booker did last year.
To George. 4-3. And Paul George, not sure why they left him that wide open. Takes advantage.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough 2 rather than an easy 3.
Paul George to Beverly. Here comes the screen. Strong finish for Paul George.
The defense should have picked up on that action. That's going to cost them.
Irving into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Stuffs it down with authority.
And when the ball gets the defense rotating from side to side, you're bound to find opportunities for each other.
To Paul George. Here's a chance from long range. It's good. Coach wants to see more from his D.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
Dinwiddie with the basketball. The deficit now up to 5. Deep 2 there, won't go.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
And he's going to the line to shoot.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just got to let him play, ref.
First one goes down. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. To Dinwiddie. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
When one player goes down, or maybe in this case 2, it gives a player an opportunity to really rise to the occasion. Well, that happened last year with Spencer Dinwiddie. When Jeremy Lin and D'Angelo Russell both went down to injury, this kid went from a D-League player to a starter in the NBA, and one of the most clutch players we had for the Brooklyn Nets this past year.
Durant to Dinwiddie. Fires the 3. Tough shot for Dinwiddie. No good.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
George against KD. Nothing going here on that drive. He was smothered and still gets it to go down.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in a zone by himself.
Here comes the screen. To Irving. A drive to the basket, but the shot won't go down.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
Here's Leonard for two. Knocks it down off the step back.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Play is stopped. It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From downtown Milwaukee, tonight, it's the hometown Milwaukee Bucks playing host to the LA Clippers. The opening tip won by the Bucks as we get going at beautiful new Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. No good. Oh, it looked like he may have gotten him there. George. That's how you defend. To Adetokunbo. From long range, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough two than a wide open three.
And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
Welcome to new age basketball. You blow on me, that's a foul.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
A couple of cracks at the line now.
Trust me, you want to avoid early foul trouble. Take that one as a warning.
Paul George, a couple of free throws on the way. A career 84% free throw shooter. Can't connect on the first free throw. Oh, he missed on a pair.
Get back.
Lets it fly from long range, and he buries it.
As a shooter, your hands always have to be ready. Ready, meaning that your hands are always providing a target to the passer for an easy catch and shoot.
Screen coming.
Leonard. How you practice leads to that nice pump fake.
I'm telling you right now, with moves like that, scoring is not going to be an issue tonight.
Adetokunbo to Lopez. way.
Oh, some fans should take that ball home as a gift.
That's a souvenir. The Bucks with 4 to shoot. Lopez. And he buries it.
Ooh, welcome to the new reality. Positionless basketball. Bigs are now PGs with the ability to drain threes.
LA Clippers with the basketball. To Leonard. 4-3. And Kawhi Leonard buries the 3 with a hand in his face.
I don't know how he saw his man out in the cut like that, but that was nice.
Nothing going here on that drive. Matthews. Through 3. Had made his first couple, but he misses there. Paul George to Leonard. Fires the 3, buries the 3. He's too good to leave that open.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Antetokounmpo. Here's a chance from long range. Off the mark. No good. Looking to take this all the way. Now a steal by Milwaukee. To Matthews. Middleton. To Antetokounmpo. Stuffs it down with authority.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
To Leonard.
Screen.
And too much contact.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Antetokounmpo to Lopez. Matthews to Antetokounmpo. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Free throw, good for Giannis. It's a 3-point play as the Bucks add to their lead. Leonard. Nice pass to set things up. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, that's out.
Out of here. It always looks cool, but guess what? You're still on D.
Kawhi Leonard. 2 of 4 now.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Kicks it around the perimeter. Gasol. Fires the 3. It's no good. Shot's not going down. Giannis Antetokounmpo able to recover with the block. To Matthews. Screen coming. Kawhi Leonard. Huge block. Knocked loose. Picked up by the Bucks. And a whistle.
Ed, you can't lunge like that.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's got 2 shots coming. Hasn't missed yet. First free throw is good. Able to convert on both free throws. Deep 3 at the buzzer. That's it for the first quarter. The Bucks in front. one quarter down. Long way to go. So, buckle up. It's wide open.
I really like what I'm seeing. Both teams look engaged. There's some trash talking going on the court. I think this has the making to be a big-time game.
Drive to the basket, but the shot won't go. To Harkless. And they call it.
A simple touch foul.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
Leonard.
Come get the screen. Screen comes.
LA with 4 to shoot. Here's Leonard for 2. Kawhi Leonard. He's 3 for 7.
Bread and butter. And there are a few that can do it better off the screen.
Now the Bucks gonna signal for a timeout as they'll make sure they're aligned here in a 2-point ball game.
Tickets before the end of today's game, and you will receive an exclusive discount.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Bucks at the controls. Adetokunbo to Middleton. Defense making the ball carrier work. Clippers have it. To George. Beverly. And scores. Strong take.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
You gotta get up on that.
And the rebound taken down by the Clippers.
Hey, lock up. Y'all know what time it is.
Leonard. They'll get it down to Green. To Beverly. Going to launch beyond the arc. So the first points for him in this first half, and he knocks it down for 3.
Yeah, they really need him to get going. Really surprised that none of his teammates have been talking to him. This is when he needs him the most. They have to uplift him, help him continue to be confident on the court.
And he's going to the free throw line. Giannis Adetokunbo at the line for 2 shots. He's perfect from the line so far. And he connects on the first free throw. And gets both to drop at the line. Knock loose. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Curling inside. Leonard shot won't go down.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
You've got to get that one to go. Beverly into the front court. Leads 1. And Jay, they call the foul.
Timing was just a tad bit off.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in.
Right here. ISO.
Leonard. Now that's a contest.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Off the penetration, almost, but no good.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Baseline drive. Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him. Clippers have got it.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Pau Gasol swats it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Shot for Hill won't go. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
To Beverly. Leonard.
Right into it. Right into it.
Knocked loose. Giannis with it up top. They trail by 1. Slams it down.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Leonard knocks it down. That was a tough shot.
And here's the setup, Ed. Down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, eventually I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes, and that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
Changes coming from both sides right now.
Substitutions.
Adetokunbo to DiVincenzo. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Steps out and hits.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a three is like shooting a layup.
Clippers have the basketball. Down for Harkless. That is great vision to set it up. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Beyond the arc for 3. Giannis in control of the basketball. Down a point. From long range, buries it on the catch and shoot.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Lets it fly from long range. It's good. That's the shot they wanted him to take.
And I just hear my high school coach preaching this thing to me every single day, and it's still pertinent for the NBA. It's all about spacing. And when you have guys who are lethal three-point shooters and they understand spacing, oh, that whole floor opens up, and that's a thing of beauty to watch.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Deep 3 at the buzzer. So a tie one as we reach the break in a 1-point game. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen. A lot of intrigue to come in this second half. A 1-point game as we resume play here in the third quarter. And the slam.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Big finish at the rim.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
George not going down here. To Adetokunbo. Screen coming. Oh, emphatic slam.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Oh, bad pass, and the Bucks have it.
Don't rush this now. The game's been tight so far.
4-3. It's good.
And watching all these great shooters on the floor at once, it almost mesmerizes me. It's like you're watching the shot in slow motion, the backspin. It gives off the feel that the ball's going in every time.
Now preparing to shoot at the line.
Ed, the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
Knocks down the first. No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Bucks at the controls.
I got ball. That's me. I'm here. I got ball. Screen right.
Lays it up and in.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Now the Clippers call a timeout. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. George. For three, where's the chatter? No one was even close to him.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start jogging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Middleton knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to you or stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
And a throwdown.
And no emotion, just that ice-cold stare. That's a sign of somebody who's here to compete.
Giannis with it up top. Leads 3. Now ready to shoot at the line.
I've seen it happen so many times. Small things like that foul can end up becoming a momentum changer. Let's see how this one plays out.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, couple of free throws on the way. Hasn't missed yet. Nope, first one does not go. Oh, he missed them both. To Paul George. Matthews. Montrezl Harrell pins it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
That's me. I got it.
To Leonard. Nothing going here on that drive. Leonard. He'll get it down low to Harrell. To George.
Double. No,
Here comes the screen. Driving right to the basket. Brook Lopez rejects it.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Giannis in control of the basketball. Up by 3.
Big pick right there.
In the third quarter.
To Matthews. Fires the 3. Well contested. Wesley Matthews can't hit it. Leonard to Beverly. Here's a chance from long range. That's off the side of the rim. Short. Williams goes to the left side. To Leonard. He throws it down.
Huh, what a move. But the move never should have happened in the first place, especially if there's communication from the help side defender. You have to let that guy know which way he can force him defensively to where there's help.
The assist from number 2, Wesley Matthews.
And they call it.
Just a tic-tac foul.
Time for some new personnel into the game.
Team foul number 2. Milwaukee Bucks are in the penalty.
Screen. Left. Trap.
Wesley Matthews tips it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Fires the three. If he's hitting shots, it could be a long night.
You live by the three, you die by the three. And guess what? They're living large right now.
Brook Lopez sends it away. Bucks basketball.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Leaving no doubt. Slams it down.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat five, but we're watching one man carry four other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
Oh, emphatic slam.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle and dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
Both teams tweaking their lineups. Here come some changes.
Number 6, Eric Bledsoe. Into the game.
It's LA Clippers ball. Slams it down. And boy, that was a lot to navigate.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
Giannis with it up top. His team on top by 8. Knocked loose. And the rebound comes down to Green. Beverly. Tough shot. Well defended. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it. Shot from the lane won't go. That ends the third quarter. The Bucks with the lead. The Bucks to inbound to start this final quarter, and they'll be looking to finish strong.
And when you play stingy defense on one end, the other end takes care of itself.
Drives, but a shot won't go down. Hill. Oh, a whistle.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
And draws the foul.
I'm watching the coach's reaction right now, and I'll tell you, he's not going to be happy about that. The game comes down to the micro details. That wasn't a part of the plan right there.
First one goes down. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Leonard. The drive right to the basket.
Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Shifting gears. Here comes some substitutions.
For the Los Angeles Clippers, number 4.
I got yours, you got mine.
Short jumper won't go down. To Matthews. Short jumper stays out. Knocked loose. Bucks have it.
You got to go for the score here right now in this possession.
Adetokunbo to Lopez. Adetokunbo to Middleton. Mirotic off the mark. To Paul George. From the painted area, won't go down. Giannis in control of the basketball. It's an 8-point lead. Goes reverse to lay it in.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up.
Don't miss your chance at some excellent alien.
Opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. And scores at the rim. Jay, good luck recovering from that.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Adetokunbo, open look, gets a look, can't hit. Leonard. Going to launch beyond the arc. Yes.
Just because someone is listening to you doesn't mean that they actually hear you. At the end of the game, when players get tired, they listen to what the assignment was, but they didn't hear what it was.
And Chris Middleton, good on the quick release that time.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough two rather than an easy three.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. He has certainly been on target from downtown. He's 4 of 5 from three-point range.
Let me tell you why. He's been receiving his passes on time and on target. Give the passer some credit in this scenario as well.
Giannis with it up top. Leads 5. To Middleton. Beyond the arc for 3, and he knocks it down.
Everything looks great when you shoot the ball like this. And yes, Ed, this team does have some issues, but they are all masked and camouflaged with this shooting display we're watching.
Turns and slams it down.
I see the easy dunk, but what I don't see is energy. Scream, do something. Get yourself emotionally involved in the game.
Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Beverly. Patrick Beverly. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
I got him.
Nothing going here on that drive. JaMychal Green snatching it out of the air. That's his 3rd block this evening.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Leonard. To George. Giannis Adetokunbo with the block.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
Now a whistle, and we'll get a timeout called by Milwaukee. It's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with one more chance to stop the clock before the buzzer sounds. Mike Budenholzer's seen enough from this group. Here come some changes. Ball's tied up. Neither player wants to give it up. They're in position. Let's see who can retain it. Milwaukee with the basketball.
Pick up. Match up.
To George Hill. Bledsoe.
Double team. Here we go.
5 on the shot clock for Milwaukee. Hill. Textbook defense. Bledsoe to Adetokunbo. Oh, lots of contact there. Still gets it to go.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because